It found me when I needed to be found. The scene was never discovered by anyone. It discovered them, saved them, gave them hope. Hope, sometimes. A purpose, once in a while. A story to tell, always. And we all have these stories. I was once in a band. I once hung out backstage with whoever. I wrestled in the mud at Woodstock. I returned some years later, having told my tale countless times, having heard the tales of others, having seen the films they made about us, our tales. That TV studio that was converted into a disco, now a theater that serves wine, and where everyone gets in, as long as they can afford the $80 ticket fees. That coffee shop, steakhouse, that foil-covered art factory, sales offices for a cell phone company. And if you find yourself in the market for a $200 John Barbados design tie, visit that old punk bar. It's now an upscale boutique. We're all sons and daughters of Abraham, all products of one scene or another. The scene shapes our beliefs, our tastes, our opinions and attitudes, or maybe our opinions and attitudes shape the scene. Maybe our wants and desires, our fears and worries, and our need to not be alone create a scene. Or maybe it's all just stories passed down during subway rides or overheard conversations at parties that are never as grand as we imagine them to be. Our little lies and embellishments, the tales we tell, and our need to listen to the tales of others. Maybe that's what creates the scene that we need so much to belong to. And in time, the scene that is so important to us, that serves as our own private island, is slowly eroded by the tide of new lies and embellishments. Young hearts reaching out in new ways, staring at screens and sending sound bites of their lives out into the ether. Young hearts that will never run down back alleys or feel the thrill of a new album. And the tide keeps eroding and eroding until cathedrals crumble, and the statue that fell on the cross becomes just an ancient legend. Until all the Ramones pass away and Warhol's just a setting on our camera phones. Maybe we don't need the scene as much as we believe. And maybe one day some brave kid will shout out that the Emperor's parading around naked, and all that we tried so hard to give importance to and tried so desperately to be a part of will crumble down. Because the only part of the scene that we really need is each other. Everyone knows someone who was at Woodstock, or someone who was at that final amazing night of Studio 54, or someone who was brave enough to use the hellhole that was the bathroom at CBGB. We all know someone who received amazing grace when they were lost and needed it most. Were saved and reborn, baptized in the drugs, sweat, and sound of one scene or another. So many who like to say, we were there, we were part of something, we were special. Been to someplace beautiful that would wash over us until we too were beautiful. Wish you could have been there, you'd have loved it. And in the end, all that's left is Stonehenge. Relics that seep in as pop culture references and screen prints on ironic t-shirts. Catchphrases about 15 minutes of fame and throwback fashion statements on the Style Network reality shows. But the thing is, we love it. We need it. We need it so bad, we tell that kid to shut up. But he keeps shouting at the top of his lungs. A young kid doesn't know anything, his voice ringing in our ears, but we need to see the Emperor's stunning new wardrobe. Doesn't matter to us that we're all parading around naked and draped in this wondrous imaginary cloak that we all fought so hard to fit into. Doesn't matter that there isn't an emperor at all. Doesn't even matter that maybe, just maybe, none of it ever really happened in any way that's meaningful. It just doesn't matter. Because even though we can't say why, you know we gotta believe.
In New York, freedom looks like too many choices. In New York,